Hello, I'm Rachel and I'm a shamanic intuitive transformational coach and energy worker. And I help people who are feeling stuck in unhealthy patterns to help them live a life with passion and purpose so that they are a powerful force of strength, courage, and confidence. I know from personal experience just how difficult it is to make changes or even consider making changes when you're feeling anxious, depressed, burnt out, and exhausted. But this is where I can help with my one-to-one coaching, my group coaching programs, my events and retreats. My purpose is to be an enabler, sharing my wisdom and giving people the safe, sacred space that they need to make significant life changes. With my proven life-changing tools, which are using transformational coaching techniques, combining this with the shamanic principles, practices, and healing modalities. I help people awaken their limitless higher potential, igniting their powerhouse to allow them then to move forward in life with divine soul-driven purpose, replacing fear with faith, replacing weakness with strength, and replacing internal struggle with confidence to effectively claim back their life in just as little as 3 months so that they can be more, they can do more, and they can have more, and fully embody their inner warrior in order to break through all that holds them back. So are you ready to take your first step towards a happier, healthier, fulfilled, and more conscious way of living? Well, Pura Vida Your Life, it all starts with you. So this video is about, are you giving away your power? And I'm going to talk about this in more detail and share with you 3 golden gifts and deeper wisdom to improve your life straight away. And they are: say no with conviction, get back to you, and step into freedom. So are you giving away your power? So when you give away your power, this robs you of your mental strength. And it's likely that there are times in your life when you give people or circumstances power over you. It can feel like life is spinning out of control. And when our lives are spinning out of the control, it's usually due to a loss of personal power. And when we lose touch then with our hopes, we lose touch with our dreams, our desires, our courage, and our confidence. And all of this then undermines our happiness and fulfillment in life. Giving away your power is the worst thing you can do. And when you do that in this life, then what happens is we have to then hold on tight to our personal power, and then we can use that to help us overcome challenges, hardship, and adversity that life inevitably throws at us. So when we hand this power over to others or to circumstances, what happens is then we give them or it the ability to manipulate our emotions and steal our happiness in ways then that are hard to come back from. So are you feeling lost, or as though you don't know who you are or what you want anymore? And if the answer is yes, then you might be giving away your personal power. And the signs then of you giving away your power, it's important that you recognize those and think about those areas in your life where you give away your power. And this is then the first step. Recognizing where that is the very first step in taking it back. So think about these things here now. So do you blame other people for your feelings? So whether you insist that your co-worker or your colleagues are driving you crazy, or your cranky partner ruins your good mood, you're giving away your power. It's important to recognize that whilst other people can influence your emotions, they can't force you to feel anything. So decide to take control over your mood and don't let anyone drag you down or hold you back. Or is this you? Do you waste time complaining? So reliving how dreadful that meeting was or complaining about how much you need to do tomorrow gives unpleasant events power over your life. While problem solving is a good use of your time, venting and complaining aren't helpful at all. So commit to focusing on solutions rather than dwelling on your problems. Or does your self-image depend on other people's opinions of you? Well, we're surrounded by that, aren't we, on the social media platforms? So if you only feel good about yourself when others hold you in high regard, or if it's with the number of followers or likes that you have on social media, you will become a people pleaser. And even worse, you'll never feel quite as good enough because you can't please everyone. So never let even just one person's opinion of you determine your self-worth. So do you try to blend in? So when self-doubt and fear creep in, it can be tempting to want to blend in with those around us, but then trying to fit in with a crowd means that you're changing who you really are to avoid attention or criticism. So don't give other people that power to stifle your personality, your uniqueness. Dare to be yourself and be willing to stand out and to shine your light bright. And do you hold grudges? So despite what you might think, holding a grudge doesn't punish the other person, but wasting valuable time thinking about a person who wronged you, whether it's right or wrong, that takes away your ability to enjoy the moment in life. So choosing to let go of the hurt and the anger, regardless of whether the person is remorseful or who's right in the situation, it's best to take back your power. So be the bigger person and you will be rewarded with greater happiness. So do you know your values? And if you aren't clear what your values are, you will become a helpless passenger in this life. So rather than a confident driver being in the driver's seat of your own life, you'll struggle to know your own priorities and you'll then be easily influenced by others. So commit to figuring out your top values and align to them and design a life that has meaning for you. And do you have healthy boundaries? So giving in to guilt trips, letting people waste your time and refusing to speak for yourself gives people the power over you. So rather than blaming others for forcing you to do something, recognize that you are in charge. Establish healthy physical and emotional boundaries that leave you feeling in control of how you spend your time and who you spend your time with. You can take your power back. So you might not realize this, but many of the things that you do so freely, saying yes to things that you should be saying no to, is acting in ways that are not in congruence with your truth. Just so you can get love, validation, approval, staying in places and relationships that are toxic, etc. These are all ways in which you give your power away. And I know just how dangerous that is because I've done it a billion times. And that's why I wanted to share with you ways that you can take back your power to be your true self again and live the life that you deserve to live. So if you recognize areas in your life where you've been giving away your power, you can then commit to taking it back this very day. You only have so much time and energy in this life, so it's important to use your resources wisely. So accept full responsibility for the way that you think, the way that you feel, and then the way that you act. Empowering yourself is the key to reaching your greatest potential and to living a happier, healthier, fulfilled, and conscious life. And a great way to take back your power is with my 3 golden gifts and deeper wisdom. So number 1, say no with conviction. So most people have no idea how dangerous it is to say yes all the time, how unhealthy it is to constantly try to please everyone around you by betraying your own self. And even though we all fall into this trap from time to time, and I've done this, if you start saying no when it is needed, and if you say it with conviction, not only will you take back your power, but you will also reclaim your right to life, your right to happiness, your right to purpose, and your right to love. So my deeper wisdom is with this is the next time someone asks you for a favor or asks you to do something for them, take a step back, breathe, count to 10, and then consider your feelings. Is this something that you really want to do? And if it is, what is that driving desire? Do you desire it for yourself? Or do you desire it because you want this person to like you or approve of you? Make the conscious decision to stop pleasing others and start identifying your own needs. Spend time with yourself and create space between you and the people that are most likely to do this. And stop the process in its tracks. And to do that by committing proactively to the journey right now. And these answers will make a difference and signal where the true power lies. So my golden gift to number 2 is get back to you. You have to get back to the core of who you are. And if you ever want to have a hope of taking your personal backpack in this world, that means getting clear and specific about what makes you tick and getting proactive about aligning your values with the people and the experiences that fit in with your life. So stop chasing that image that other people are building and rebuild your own vision for yourself from the ground up. And my deeper wisdom here is get back to the root of who you are and those authentic aspects of self that bring you passion, that bring you strength and bring you courage. Invest in self-care, take an online course, or pick up those paintbrushes that have been hiding in the dark all this time. Fall back in love with yourself and begin the journey back to the center of your authentic self. The more in touch that you are with your core, then the clearer your future becomes. And when we get our authentic needs and desires in sight, that's when we get our courage and we get our fortitude in sight. So think about the last thing that you were certain about and how hard did you fight for that thing? How determined did you become to stick to it? Well, the same goes for our lives. The better and more honestly we know ourselves, the more comfortable we become standing in our own personal power. And my golden gift, number 3, step into freedom. So many of us yearn for freedom, but many of us find true freedom uncomfortable. And that is because true freedom requires us to be fully responsible and accountable for our lives and the decisions that we also make. It's far easier to blame others or to blame our circumstances for everything that goes wrong in life. So taking responsibility for everything you get right, that's something that can only come by leaning into freedom and reclaiming your personal power. So my deeper wisdom here is reshape your ideas on freedom and find comfort in setting out on your own. Get used to taking big steps independently, like traveling solo, or try something that no one in your family has ever tried before. And the more confident that you get in hanging your feet over the cliff edge, the easier jumping becomes. So trust that you know what's best for yourself. Trust that you have the ability and the resilience to manifest the life that you want and overcome the hardships that will inevitably come along the way. That's life, isn't it? We find ourselves when we push ourselves beyond the edge of the cliff into the open air of freedom. Lean into your freedom and start taking back your power for yourself and for the future you've always wanted to build. So let's summarize those golden gifts again. Say no with conviction. Get back to you. Step into freedom. Well, life is challenging and the scariness of it all can often push us into giving away our power. And when we find ourselves spinning out of control or otherwise lost, it's often because we've placed our futures in the hands of somebody else's validation or external circumstances. And if we want to find a way to lead a happy and fulfilling life, we have to take action in the name of our own futures and take back our own personal power. And the best advice I can give you is to stop the process in its tracks. and proactively commit to taking responsibility for your life and the choices made within it. You have the right to be the person you want to be, and you need no one's validation but your own. So chip away at that victim mentality that is holding you back and stand strong beside your ability to choose your own happiness. Spend some time setting boundaries, then make sure you communicate these boundaries to anyone who would take power from you. We don't owe our lives or our joy to anybody. So get back to the root of who you are and get excited about the future by identifying all the choices you have left ahead of you. Freedom is daunting, but living a life defined by others is even more so. Find comfort in the discomfort of standing in your own power and use that to build a life that is authentically yours. Take care to pay attention to what you feel that you need in your life, and seeking support from a coach could be the thing that you do differently to finally find the peace you've been seeking. I know how difficult it is to make changes or even consider making changes when you're feeling anxious, depressed, burned out, and exhausted. But this is where I can help with my one-to-one coaching. I help people awaken their limitless potential, igniting their powerhouse, and to move forward with divine soul-driven purpose. So to find out more, book a call with me. I help overwhelmed and unfulfilled people replace fear with faith, replace weakness with strength, and replace internal struggle with confidence to effectively claim their life back in just 3 months, so that they can be more, they can do more, and they can have more, and fully embody their inner warrior in order to break through all that's holding them back. So are you ready to take your first step towards a happier, healthier, fulfilled, and more conscious life? Well, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again for next week's Pura Vida Your Life happenings for insight, inspiration, and more golden gifts and deeper wisdom to help you live a happier, healthier, and more conscious life. So remember, Pura Vida Your Life, it all starts with you. So until next time, Pura Vida.